What's up, baby dolls, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a lovely Friday. Your girl is doing well, feeling great, all of that good stuff, and I'm looking great too. I'm here for it, all of it. Today is giving professional yapper. Every now and then I have thoughts, lots of thoughts, and most of the times I keep those thoughts inside. But today I was like, you know what? I just wonder if anybody is feeling the way I'm feeling about Black Friday. I feel like participating in Black Friday has it's not just a very American thing, but it really has become like a ritual for the internet naturals. You get what I'm saying? Like we love us some Black Friday, especially as a means of supporting Black owned businesses. And I am feeling away. The mixed feelings are they're mixing heavy. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about whether I'm going to shop, what I would like to shop, and whether this is going to be my last Black Friday experience. Let go. Hey, before we get into it, because even though we are just yapping today, I can't have y'all walking around stinking. Today, I smell amazing, super cozy, but still kind of fresh and clean. The Saltair Saltwater Vanilla body butter has just been my entire personality for the last 3-ish months. It's so good. It smells like saltwater taffy, like vanilla saltwater taffy. Super satisfying, comforting, but still a little bright. It's bright and cozy. She pairs perfectly with my love Terra Gioia from Armani. I don't wear a ton of Armani fragrances, but this one right here is one of my favorites. Ocean is really great too, but this is the perfect slightly warm but slightly clean scent. We have some almond flower, some vanilla, some pear. It's just really bright but still warm, cozy, comforting, and very clean. It's giving a really yummy almond milk bubble bath situation. Yeah, so if you're looking for something that's still not all the way in the fall, but is still going to scratch that cozy, slightly sweet itch, check out Terra Gioia. And I will be having a cozy fragrance guide coming. I've been getting questions about fall content. Y'all are going to get it in pretty much every single form possible. So just stay tuned and make sure you're tapping in. I know I'm going to get questions about the hair. If you haven't watched Wednesday's video, what you doing? We did do a one and done with the beautiful Raine Pure Castor Oil and Moringa gel. And today is my day 3 refresh with that and the Dear Mama Moisture Milk from the Doux. And this is what I am left with after that phenomenal refresh. If you want to know how I did it, you can go check out that video. I have a full video on my refreshing routine as well as all the products that I like to use to do it. And you can also go check out Wednesday's video. So Black Friday, y'all. I have found myself yearning for a good just solid Black Friday haul. I've really held off on purchasing a lot of products because I really just want to just go balls to the wall on Black Friday. But at the same token, I kind of feel one, it's not going to feel the same, and two, I kind of feel following this Black Friday, I don't know if I'm going to be participating in Black Friday events anymore. So first things first, we have been talking about the price increases, right? And I've been warning y'all about this. And so many people were it's not that big of a deal. They always increase prices. Listen, I'm aware. I've been spending my money for God knows how long. I'm aware that price increases are nothing new. What we're experiencing now is new. The price increases are not $1 or $2 because we've already had price increases coming on from the beginning of the year. Prices have increased already from $4 to $6, and it's probably going to be more than that by the end of the year. Some of your faves are probably going to have close to a $10 increase in pricing. It just is what it is. These tariffs are no joke, and it really doesn't matter what owner has how much money or whatnot. The game is gonna have to be played. This is late stage capitalism, people. It is what it is. It was so crazy to me, like, especially when Pattern announced their price increases and y'all were crashing out. I'm getting DMs about it and all this stuff, and I'm sitting here like, what? Y'all are hitting me up like I didn't tell you this. Like, I told you this shit was gonna happen. And whether you guys have wanted to accept it or not, Pattern has been on the less expensive side in comparison to other high-end and luxury hair care brands. That is no longer going to be a thing. These brands that have been absorbing costs because part of their brand identity has been being cheaper than their competitors are not going to have that as their brand identity anymore. Like, I don't know what I have to do for y'all to get that through your heads. So many people fail to realize how a lot of your favorite brands have been absorbing the cost increases as a means to keep customers because they have been trying to avoid outpricing their customers. Because we know what happens when you outprice your customer. Ask some of these brands who have had to go from selling $25 products to $50 products. How many sales are they getting? Ask them. You know, it's to the point where these brands can't do that anymore. And we like to say, oh, well, like price increases aren't a new thing. If we're being honest with ourselves, there are a lot of brands that we shop that have not raised their prices in ages. And if they have, it's been like maybe $1 or $2 over the last 5 to 6 years. That's not much at all. Okay. So we're already going to be dealing with these pretty hefty price increases because I suspect that there will probably be more tacked onto that before Black Friday. And I know for a fact that a lot of these brands that have already announced price increases will probably have to continue to raise prices by the beginning of 2026 because we're just starting to feel the effects of all the bullshit that's happening right now. And so with that being said, it's hard to be excited about a sale that's not really going to be a sale because by the time you've had the price increases tacked on, once you get the sale, you're going to be paying the same price that you would have been paying before the price increase. You get what I'm saying? So that right there, like kind of, it started to give me pause. Like I've been thinking about this for a minute and like the ways that I like to participate in Black Friday, right? Like you guys know I give you a guide every single year. What I think is going to happen this year, most brands are probably not going to be doing anywhere from 40 to 50% off. I think that in the next year to 2 years, 50 to 60% off is not going to be a thing. I really do feel like that's going to be the case. That's just not something that we're going to get. We're going to be lucky if we get 30, right? With the sales, and this has been happening for a while. We've been talking about this for a while. With the percentage increasing closer to the 30 to 20% mark, is it worth it to invest in Black Friday the way that we have been? Probably not. It just is what it is. Probably not. I feel like this year is going to be a big year of me scouting and then cutting a bunch of shit off my list because it's just not going to make sense. And I've been saying this for a while that sometimes it makes more sense to keep up with people's like spring sales, Memorial Day sales, stuff like that. Sometimes those sales, you get a better deal than you do on Black Friday because Black Friday is such an insane time for brands, even though it might be a time where they're getting the greatest sales. The amount of work is increased tenfold. That increases the room for error. And so a lot of us have been shopping brands that we've loved for years and we're getting these products and we're like, that is not the same product. That's not the same product. What had happened? So I already like to veer toward that. But the other dilemma is that I think a lot of us are in this place where we still want to support Black-owned businesses with our chest. But a lot of us are not going to be able to afford to support Black-owned businesses with our chest. I'm somebody who doesn't necessarily have to worry about that because I have a stash. I have been archiving my collection and curating for several years now. I'm a product reviewer, so I have shit. I have things that I can use. I have a very generous backup stash, even though I'm always donating, sending products to people, stuff like that. I have a generous stash that I can pull from. If I don't shop Black Friday for the next 3 years, I'd probably be fine. But that's not really the point, right? Natural hair care in itself, I would say over the last decade with the revival of the natural hair movement and so many new brands coming up, the Black Friday has been an opportunity for people who typically cannot afford to invest in their natural hair care to purchase products. And I see that piece dying out. I've been saying for ages that not only is a lot of the natural hair care at a price point that a lot of people cannot participate in, but it can also be very elitist, and that's not going to change anytime soon. A lot of that is ingrained within societal culture, right? And so we already have this issue of a lot of the average Black consumers cannot afford to pick up a lot of the products that we recommend, right? Even if it is on the ground. Drugstore prices of today are not the drugstore prices of yesterday, babe. These days, you're less likely to get a sale at the drugstore than you were, I would say, even 7 to 8 years ago. Remember when Shea Moisture used to be doing a sale like literally every other week? And it would just bounce between CVS, Walgreens, and Rite Aid. And you could get a shit ton of products. You never had to sit and wait for a sale, you know? These days, you're lucky if you find one. Not that I shop them anymore anyway, but I'm just saying. This is going to change the amount of access that everyday people have. And there's just something about that really sours the entire experience for me, right? Because for me, I personally use Black Friday not just as a means to replenish, but as a means to share. A means for me to find Black-owned businesses that I haven't used and tried before, and curate a selection of products for me to use and kind of help bring that brand to the forefront. That's how I utilize Black Friday, right? Yes, I do replenish. I pick up things that I use all the time. Like, I'm a Camille Rose girly. Y'all know we live for Black Friday, so we can get us some curl maker for $12, you know? But for me, it is a way for me to help in this type of exchange, right? Not just for me making content, but for me having the opportunity to put on somebody who may not have been put on before. That's how I like to use Black Friday. That is my opportunity to not only to give back to my community in several different ways. I also like to go through and buy out somebody's cart for Black Friday. The means of being able to do these things is really going to change for a lot of people and for myself and other content creators, because at the end of the day, I don't think people really consider the fact that content creation requires investment. Content creation is not cheap. It is expensive. Even if you're not someone who reviews products all the time, you still have to put your money into creating content, whether it's the products that you're using, the software that you use to make your videos, whatever cameras and phones and things of that nature that you're upgrading to get the best quality, your backdrops, your ring lights, the amount of money that we put into this. And that's why I don't entertain a lot of the hate train whenever I do take sponsorships, because I have been funding this channel mostly on my own for the entire duration of it. Okay, most of the products that I have shown you on this platform have been purchased with my own money. There was a time when literally every week I was in the store looking for new drops, looking to see what I could bring to you guys. So it is an expensive thing to fund. And that does touch on why a lot of people are leaving content creation, because what we're getting back in return is not necessarily always equal to what we're putting into it. A lot of content creators are lucky if they come out net zero. And that's the same with most creatives, authors, musicians, dancers. A lot of us are really lucky if we come out net zero with the amount of money that we put into our craft, right? It is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. But when you have people who try to find, I know me personally, and I think for a lot of other creators as well, Black Friday was an opportunity for us to make sure that we could keep feeding in, right? It was an opportunity for us to make sure that we were introducing new things, showing that we are actually using the things that we tell you that we like, but also creating events. Like, I know so many content creators, brand owners, what have you, have created community events and things like that around Black Friday to try to push Black businesses and also give back to the Black community, the Black people that are consuming their products. All of that is about to change, and I think there's just something about it that makes me almost a little depressed, and I've been feeling it for a while. Really and truly, very few of us come into content creation just because we want to make money. That is a very new concept. Those of us who have been on the internet for a long time started doing this simply because we just like the shit that we were talking about, and we really like talking to y'all. Like, we love having a crew of people that just like ride for us hard, that we can talk about our favorite things with, that we can have really interesting conversations with. That is how this started. And so much of it is at risk right now. The changes that are happening on YouTube, the changes that are happening with just businesses in general. We have so many businesses that are shutting down because they can't keep up. They can't handle the cost anymore. We have brands that are trying to revive and just they can't. Like, they can't get it back. They can't get the spark back. And then we also have brands who have been here forever, but everything is just becoming so sterile. Everything is becoming so sterile. We've lost the creativity. We've lost the whimsy. Everything is getting so much more expensive to the point that, like, even if these brands were still creative, I don't think we would really care. It sucks. There was a time when I was genuinely so excited about talking about other brands. And that's not to say that I don't still feel that same excitement, but it is different because this world is just so different. So much is the same, but so much has changed in really trying ways. But I think a lot of what has changed is that the amount of the individualism has not just taken over with people, it's taken over with concepts, right? The creativity is gone. The fun is gone. Like, it's not there anymore. And so where I was like fiending and itching for that Black Friday experience, I'm just like, damn, is that Black Friday experience going to feel like that Black Friday experience, right? Because, like, growing up, I was never raised to be like that. We were not at Target at 5 o'clock in the morning waiting for the store to open. We were at home with family, making breakfast, playing music, kikiing, whatever, you know? Like, that wasn't our thing. Really, it was getting into natural hair that brought me into that space, right? And it's something that I absolutely love. It's something that I look forward to kind of every year. It's kind of like my Christmas before Christmas, you know? And it's just so deeply soured now, and I hate it. And at the same token, it just feels very frivolous to be feeling this way because there are so many atrocious things happening in the world. And I'm like, there are people who literally have had their homes turned into craters and have watched their families right in front of them. And like, we're over here worried about hair products, you know? So like it string of thoughts. Y'all are getting my string of thoughts right now. I'm not always as eloquent of a thinker and a speaker as you guys think that I am. But I say all of that to say that I feel sad for the natural hair community, right? Because we have always been the closest to the edge of the chopping block. When it comes to this niche, when it comes to this edge of the media spectrum, we have always been the closest to being on the chopping block. People, the wider, like the broader scale of people on this earth do not understand the importance of natural hair, the importance of natural hair care. They don't understand the importance of having a group of Black people being in community with one another in such a way that encourages them to just be their best selves, right? And even though sometimes it feels like we're not moving the needle because we're still having these same very like frustrating but still very insular conversations regarding natural hair care, these debates about white products versus Black products, which has been frustrating. But I go out into the real world. I go to school and I see so many babies with beautiful natural hair that's out and well taken care of and moisturized, you know, like seeing that where we weren't necessarily seeing that shit maybe like a decade ago, you know? So many older girls who do not have their hair relaxed. That brings me so much joy. Even though, yes, here we're just talking about shampoo and conditioner and shooting the shit, it's so much more than shampoo and conditioner. And it has always been so deeply at risk. And I think that has always been my frustration with the natural hair space, because so much of this platform has been turned into cattiness and contentious behavior. So everything is a debate, everything is an argument, everything is a fight, where really and truly we're like one step away from none of this shit mattering. And we see it all the time. Y'all want to know what happened to natural hair creators? They want to know why they still need to be here. You know, like at some point people are not going to continue to show up to do something and be one of the only people in the room. They're going to go where people are. And it's just felt like slowly and steadily this has been kind of dropping like flies, especially in the YouTube community. But it makes me sad because it's not just us. It's people who have poured their hearts into their work to create new things, who really are truly innovative. And we're seeing in real time consumers who can't afford to take care of themselves and brand owners who can't afford to continue to provide for their consumers and also take care of themselves. Because more than anything, I have always been on here spotlighting brands who don't have much, right? I've been spotlighting the little guys forever. And in a lot of ways, that kind of stifles your growth. But I've never cared about growth as much as I have just cared about people. You know, I love doing this. I love what I do. I love trying new things and I love talking to you guys about it. And as we continue to go on, that ability is going to be cut in half, if not more. And that makes me so sad because I love what I do. I love that we get to share in these experiences. And even those of us who don't spend a lot of our money on hair products, we still get to kiki about the things that we love. We still get to introduce each other to Black people that we didn't know existed. You know, we get to introduce each other to so many amazing things. And it feels like this Black Friday is going to be very much the end of an era. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that, but I just have this sense of foreboding that like after this Black Friday, things are not going to be the same. Will I be shopping? Hopefully. Hopefully we will see. Do I have a wish list? Kind of, you know, like I want to pick up a lot of my like Camille Rose favorites. You guys know I love me some Camille Rose. My mama loves some Camille Rose. She's ready to stock up. She is ready to stock up on Curl Maker. She loves that shit. Curl Love Moisture Milk. I want to try their new collections. You guys know I get hyped for the Soultanicals fall products every year. And I also just, like, right now I'm researching natural hair care brands that I haven't tried, that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about, to bring to the forefront. And I even have that thought of like researching new brands, and I'm just like, when I talk about these new brands, are they going to be here within the next 5 to 6 months? You know? All of that shit like makes me really, really sad. Like, I have so much from Curls and Potions I want to try, because I feel like that brand is just, there's something so classically innovative about it. You guys know I love what Julian is doing with Adjoa, and she is taking, she really has just like gotten into her creativity bag with going back to the drawing board with the Melonberry collection and now having that release. There are so many things that I want to get. There are so many things that I want to try. There are so many things that I want to talk to you guys about. But I can't ignore the fact that like the world is drastically changing, you know? And it's definitely not going to be status quo. Like, I don't think Black Friday is going to look like what we're used to. And I know those sales are definitely not going to look like what we're used to. And I'm very understanding of that. I think my only thing is that if y'all are going to do price increases, y'all need to do them not the day of Black Friday. Because we've had some brands that have introduced those price increases the day of Black Friday. And that is an automatic no for me. Like, there's just something that just feels so dishonest about that. And so if you're going to be doing price increases, announce it. Because me personally, there were a couple of brands that I did not shop last year simply because I'm looking at it and I'm just like, that was not $30. I've never paid $30 for that. And it's a big price increase, right? So for me, I was just like, if the best we're getting is like 20-25%, nah, shawty, I'm good. You couldn't at least warn me first. I'm good, you know? So at the very least, I would like to see brands having enough integrity to be open and honest about the price increases so people can plan accordingly. Obviously, like, I am going to be doing like my She Sent It and Curl Origin hauls, but I really just want to try out some new brands. I want to bring more Black owned brands to the forefront, but it's been really hard. And I will say, like, this year, this year, I have not really shared a lot of new Black owned brands because I will say I'm still waiting to get my money back from a few who just haven't sent products, you know, websites shut down, stuff like that. So a lot of them, I'm just like, you know what, I'm not going to come on and shit on you because after this, no one's going to know who you are anyway. But it's been really, really hard to bring new companies to the forefront, and to give you guys new options that aren't like mainstream high end. You know, I love that as well, but I also want you guys to feel a sense of pride in shopping small. So yeah, I don't know. This is going to be an interesting year. I'm going to try my hardest to kind of like try to guide you guys as much as possible. Kind of noting what price increases are coming and what things are going to be looking like this year. I feel like this year, as far as like Black Friday buying guides, shopping guides, all of that good stuff, it's going to look a little different, right? I think there are a lot of brands that a lot of us are not going to be able to afford to shop. And part of me is like, do you take the opportunity to at least get some type of sale now before prices really do skyrocket in 2026? Or do you hold out? I don't know. I think that's going to be a case-by-case, person-by-person thing. And I don't want to encourage you guys to hoard. But I also do want to encourage you guys to be mindful of the fact that there may be some things that you love that you might not be able to afford to purchase in 2026. And that's a big part of why I've really been pushing a lot more affordable brands, affordable products, and options to you guys, because we're gonna need all of the options that we can get. Just saying. So y'all let me know, how are you feeling about just the end of 2025 in general, as far as it relates to 2020, like just as far as it relates to finances, shopping. Like, I can only imagine how stressful it is right now being a parent and trying to plan for the holidays. Like, I'm stressed just trying to plan for myself and like the few adults in my life, you know? Because there are so many things in this world that really are starting to feel unattainable. And I don't know, I guess I just wanted to sit down and yap with you guys about it, because I'm sure that I'm not the only person feeling like this. I know I'm not the only content creator feeling like this, and I have no doubt that I'm not the only consumer feeling this way. This is like my favorite time of the year, and it doesn't feel good anymore. It doesn't feel fun anymore, because really and truly, a lot of this shit is not good or fun. A lot of this shit is bad, you know? And I think all of us are trying to reconcile with that. So I don't know, this is your safe place to just feel like, yeah, this shit sucks. Because I think it's okay to come out and say, this shit fucking sucks. All right, baby loves. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. I have, like I said, so much coming for y'all. I am still going to be in my fall creative bag, bringing you guys all the things that I love. We have a vlog coming up as well. Mom and I are going to be out acting like we grown, so y'all are going to be getting some really awesome cozy content. And I'm just going to be sharing everything with you and just kind of shit posting as much as I can, you know? Because listen, once I nail one of these interviews, I don't know how much y'all are gonna see me. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm gonna be working really, really hard. So you guys are going to be getting a lot of good shit from me. So stay tuned. I have really awesome stuff coming next week. And also, if you are over on the book channel, make sure you're tapped in, because I do have some new reviews coming, as well as a reading vlog going up as well. So yeah, I love you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay safe and try your hardest to stay hopeful, because I know sometimes it is really difficult to do so. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.